All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to talk about the increased likelihood that Canelo Alvarez versus Dimitri Bivol will be canceled for political reasons, and it sounds about the right thing to do to me, but let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to talk about Canelo Alvarez and Dimitri Bivol and the high likelihood now I'm hearing that that fight may get either postponed or may get canceled because of the increased political pressure being put on the parties involved. Before I get into that, though, let me welcome you back to the channel. Thank you guys so much for continuing to support the channel. If you are not a subscriber to the channel, make sure you hit the bell icon, subscribe to the channel, hit subscribe, hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And also thank you to everybody that comes out. And if you wager on sports, make sure you go check us out at busr.ag/Fanon. Use the promotional code Fanon. When you wager, you get different promotions and things to increase the value of your money over there. If you wager, make sure you go check that out. All right, so let's get into this, man. The pressure is heating up on all parties involved, on Canelo Alvarez and Dimitri Bivol, calling for that fight to be canceled. And my understanding is that they are taking that more and more seriously by the day. Now, if you guys have been somewhere off on a rock, I will explain what the situation is. Vladimir Klitschko and Vitaly Klitschko, who are former world champions, heavyweight world champions, have specifically requested that the Canelo Alvarez fight with Dimitri Bivol be canceled because Dimitri Bivol is a Russian citizen and their country, Ukraine, is now being invaded by Russia. So because that's the case, they're saying that the United States, who is aligned with Ukraine, should not allow Russian fighters to benefit or fight in boxing during the time that they have this invasion, this stuff going on between the two countries. And it is something that, you know, previously people were kind of brushing off, but there's more and more international scrutiny going on. You've got people being Russians that are blocked from sporting events in auto racing. You have just a lot of the stuff going on, and it's flowing over into sports. And this is the argument behind why people say that they shouldn't allow that to happen, and that is because if Russia wins and beats Canelo Alvarez, or number one, you're paying money that is going to be entering into the Russian economy, and having that amount of money go into the Russian economy is actually helping and supporting Russia in what they're doing in Ukraine. No matter how indirect it may seem, that if you are aligned with us, you shouldn't be doing business with the people that are attacking us, right? So it follows since that the Ukrainians are not, especially people that are in boxing, is very important in the Ukraine. It's one of the bigger sports there, at least from, you know, international discussion, you know, the international sense of it. They do not want that to take place, and Bivol is Russian, so there you go. Don't do the fight as a political statement or a statement of support for the Ukrainian people. When people first asked me about it, you know, what I thought about it, I don't think that the parties involved would want to do that. But at a certain point in time, man, as this progresses, especially, you know, if it goes into, you know, March, and it goes into April, it goes into the May time frame, that it's just a bad look all around for the businesses that are involved, in it. And it is probably something that they should think twice about, doing. I don't think that it is necessarily, you know, a situation where, you know, there are people say, well, how unfair is that to Dimitri Bivol, right? Well, if you listen to what, like, Lou DiBella, who's a promoter of DiBella Entertainment, is now aligned with Probellum, what he had to say on his website, he was like, look, man, what difference does it make, you know, that Bivol gets put off one fight when you look at all of the things and all of the stuff and in all of the trials and tribulations that the Ukrainian people are going through, right? And so when you're dealing with something like that, every little positive statement and support that you can make matters to people that care about the circumstance. For me, I'm just a guy that is pretty much, like, man, the whole thing is just a jacked up situation. It would be very unfortunate for Bivol if Bivol was not allowed to get that big payday and all that. But, if people are going to stay consistent to what we do in situations like that, then they probably should cancel that fight. Now, the WBA, as far as what the WBA has said, who I do believe is the championship belt that Bivol has, please forgive me if I'm wrong, but at 175, they said that they were not going to allow Bivol to fly his Russian flag, was not going to allow Bivol or Russian fighters to, play their anthems and things like that during the fight. So they are pretty much going to do like what the Olympics did with Russian athletes, which was allow them to compete, but not allow them to compete under their banner. Well, that's a reasonable thing, as far as like, making a statement of support, but it's really, you're not fooling anybody. It's a Russian athlete. They live in Russia. The money that you're going to pay them are going to go to Russia, right? If somebody was, in Iran or something, and we were in a war with Iran, the likelihood of you allowing them to, to do business with somebody that is in that country, all that type of stuff usually gets blocked. It usually gets blacked off. So, but anyway, my understanding is that the pressure is increasing. That there are discussions going on about whether or not the fight is really the right move at this point in time. And that's aside from whether or not it's a right move for Canelo or not, right? And as far as like how it would affect Canelo, Canelo said it himself, man, that it doesn't matter who he fights, he's going to get paid, any way it goes. The question is whether or not DAZN or whether or not DAZN and American or DAZN is going to say, we're going to be standing by this issue. Now, on the other hand, I do believe that DAZN is actually owned by, or the major contributor to DAZN is a Russian billionaire. So, more than likely, DAZN themselves are not going to step in there and try to stop the fight. The question is whether or not Nevada, the state of Nevada is going to allow them to do it, or whether the politicians in Nevada are going to look downward on it as far as the people they could pressure for it, right? But as far as what DAZN does, I doubt if they're going to let that get in the way of their money, especially considering who owns it. But my understanding is, though, that people are at least talking about the canceling the fight and seeing if there's another option for Canelo Alvarez for that date. But like I say, I'll believe it when I see it. People can say all they want that they're going to do it, but in this world, money talks, what they say, BS walks. And anyway, that's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think in the comment section. Should they continue with the fight? Should they not continue with the fight? It is what it is. I personally say get the fight done with, get the fight done with so that we can get to a better Canelo Alvarez fight in the actual fights that I want to see maybe in 2023. But that's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.